Welcome to T-Boys TV. Apologies, I'm late. One, I was on dog duties because mum and out working. And two, this laptop is slower than per Mertesacker. Oh my God, just to open one tab, it took about 10 minutes. What the hell is going on with this? Seriously. I've deleted the stuff that was taken up the most on this laptop as well, which was taking up a lot. You know, I've deleted it and it's still slow as. It's not even that old. That's the thing that annoys me. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just frustrating. But I should hopefully be getting another one at some point near the end of the year, hopefully. But obviously, we're back with Premier League predictions. Obviously, it is game week 31. Some interesting games in the Premier League this week. Let's go through the comments. It's not even letting me click on comments. Seriously. Billy says, hi, big up yourself, mate. Big up yourself. Big up Spencer in the chat as well. And by the way, Spencer, I saw that you like the Cop TV TikTok. Now, I don't know if you remember me saying, but I do actually run that page. So, yeah, I saw that you liked it. Unless it was someone else that has the exact same name. I mean, you never know. But obviously, I didn't click on it because then it would say he viewed you and, you know, you'd probably go mental. But it's only me. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. Oh, my God. I can't even look at comments, people. I'm going to have to look on my phone. Real talk. Because this is just being useless. I got a feeling when I try and share the screen, it's not even going to work. So, yeah, that is that. Tyler as bad as British boxing. No control. They've been late for years. Oh, dear. Rant over. Chris says I'm at work from 6 p.m, 10 p.m. now, so I can catch this whole stream. Nice, fair enough. Massive next two games for us at home to Northampton and Stockport. Both the teams are in automatic places. Yeah, massive then. I know it wasn't you then. All right, fair enough, Spencer, mate. Fair enough. But yeah, there you go with that. So yeah, let's try and share the screen and actually do my predictions for this weekend's games. Obviously, it is just a straight game week. Yet again, no rescheduled games, which is always good. There will be at some point because there's still quite a few games for certain teams. But yeah, I will get that up in a second if it lets me. But yeah, hope everyone's well. I know a lot of people are waiting. A better play for waiting that long. Like I said, I would be here earlier, but you know what this laptop likes to do. So yeah, I'm currently trying to share it, but it just doesn't want to work. But obviously, the first game anyway is obviously 12:30 tomorrow. Obviously, that is Aston Villa versus Newcastle. Should be a really good game. Oh, I don't even know if you lot can hear me. I know you can. Should be a really good game, this one. Aston Villa actually 7 games unbeaten right now. Doing very well. Their last defeat was to Arsenal, which is obviously a while ago. And they are taking on a very, very good team. Newcastle. We do third. Is this sharing? Doesn't say it is. What do you mean it can't access it? Seriously, what do you mean it can't access it? It always accesses it. Do you know what I mean? Why is it saying that? Seriously, what is going on today? What is going on today? But yeah, right, that should work now. That should be on the screen. Let me just try and have a look on StreamYard if it's on there. It should at least be coming up there. So yeah. Honestly, it's been one of them days, people, if you couldn't tell. Right, there we go. There we go. It's actually on screen now. So yeah, big up to yourselves. Like I said, obviously 2 teams that are doing very well. And I'm lagging out again. You know, I can't even get a sentence going. Do you know what I mean? Seriously. This is an absolute joke. Well, I don't know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. And I'll carry on going. You just might not be able to see me. Oh, I don't know what's going on. This is why I don't do a lot of stuff on this laptop either, except streams. But half the time, they don't want to work. Anyway, right, I know I'm back now. I can see myself. Woohoo! But yeah, obviously, like I said, two teams that are doing very well up against each other. Obviously, like I said, Aston Villa are 7 games unbeaten. Like I said, their last defeat was to Arsenal. Newcastle, like I said, on third on goal difference. Obviously, they could actually end up getting third this season. It's an interesting one, this one. 12:30. You know, Newcastle been really impressive their last couple of games. You know, especially, winning away at Brentford is not easy to do. I did think if it weren't 1-1, it was going to be 2-1, and I'm generally not just saying that. I did generally think that. And Villa are doing very well under Unai Emery. As we know, obviously both teams, or I don't even know if I want to try and do this without it, not working. Oh no, it is working. So obviously Aston Villa sits 6th. And then obviously Newcastle are 3rd, like I said, same points as United. How do I see this one going? I do think this might be Aston Villa's run ends. I'm not going to lie. I just think the way Newcastle have been this season as a whole, really, I think they'll do it. I really do. I do think they will win this game. As for score prediction, I'm going to go with the exact same score it was for them away at Brentford. I'm going to go with a 2-1 victory for Newcastle United. So yeah, that's what I'm going to go with in that one. So yeah, that is my prediction there. Let's go through your predictions. Big up everyone inside as well. How about United going full Spurs yesterday? Yeah, I heard. I did have it on, but I weren't really watching it. But I know obviously they bottled it, which was quite funny. Morning, Tyler says, Wolf, big up yourself. Aston Villa 2-1 Newcastle. Chris reckons same as me. 2-1 goals from United. Yeah, I know the second one was. I didn't know the first one. But like I say, I weren't really watching it though. I was quite busy. Big up Ty. Big up yourself, Stephen, mate. Big up yourself. Everyone's saying they can hear me. That's good. The second goal was bad luck. Unfortunately, if Maguire's head wasn't the size of a refrigerator, that probably doesn't go in. Man United haven't been the same since the Liverpool massacre. Billy's gone 1-1. So has Spencer. Stephen's gone 3-1. He's gone for an emphatic away win for Newcastle. The GOAT Maguire is back with his own goals. Newcastle don't lose too many. No, they don't. I think they've only lost 3 games this season, isn't it? And 2 of them were to Liverpool and the other one was City, if I'm correct. Yeah, I know that from the top of my head without even, looking at who they actually lost to. I could see Newcastle stealing this one. Yeah, same here, mate. Same here. Big up Awace. He says, what do you make of City's emphatic win over Bayern? Really impressive win, to be honest, mate. I did think you would win anyway because you are at home, but I didn't expect you to win, in the manner you did. And I think you're most likely through, to be honest. I know I was saying, I think Bayern, but I thought they'd narrowly lose and then, do something. But, as much as away goals doesn't matter anymore, they've got to try and not concede because I think they could get 3, but it's just you guys. I just can't see you guys not scoring. So yeah, you guys are probably through. I can't lie. So fair enough, mate. Fair play. You dominated them in that second half, to be honest. First half, I did think it was a bit equal. And Sommer, mate, he made some wicked saves. If it weren't for him, it could have been even more. But yeah, that's what I think of that game. So yeah, I was wrong. Tuchel normally has City's number. That's tie over now for me. Yeah, exactly. 4-2 Newcastle. Jeez, Wolves gone goals galore. To be fair, Villa have had some 4-2 games this season at their ground. Obviously, the Arsenal game, that was the 12:30 kickoff as well, wasn't it? What was the other game they had? Leicester, which was actually the week before, wasn't it? So I could see that, to be fair. But then again, I mean, it's all opinions. But I don't know. We'll see. You never know, though. City have now turned their engines on. Yep, they have. Sommer was very quality. Yeah, mate, especially that save, right, with his foot. That was a sick save, mate. That was a world-class save. I'll say that on my chest. But yeah, moving on to the next game, Chelsea versus Brighton. Now, Chelsea, another team I watched during the week. I did actually get that score prediction right. I said they'd lose 2-0 to Real Madrid. They're taking on Brighton in this one, who will feel hard done by after that game against Tottenham. I did predict Brighton to beat Tottenham. Obviously, even if that result went their way, they'd have probably drawn the game. Chelsea have obviously appointed Lampard to the end of the season. It's just madness. Surely you would want to, it's like I said on the last Premier League prediction, surely you'd want to try and get someone in, to get a bit of an understanding of the players and the players understand how he wants to work and that. Why just get this guy? I just don't understand. It just makes no sense because he was a good player. It don't matter. I mean, he's a good manager, does it? For me, Gerrard hasn't proved too much. You think Liverpool fans would want him in the door? Nah, thank you, mate. But anyway, Brighton, I think they'll feel, like I said, I think they'll be hard done by, or they feel it, definitely. And I think they'll beat Chelsea. I really do think they'll beat Chelsea. I think they've only ever beat Chelsea twice in the history, which I was, a bit surprised about. Obviously, the last time they did play, Brighton slapped them differently, 4-1. So I'm going to go with a Brighton win. And I'm actually going to go with them to get a clean sheet at Stamford Bridge. I'm going to go 2-0 Brighton. Someone not read that comment. Billy says 2-0 Brighton as well. So does Chris. Brighton wounded animal after robbery versus Spurs. Exactly. Spencer's gone 1-0. That is what I did predict them to do against Spurs. But obviously it didn't quite do that. Stephen says 2-0 Brighton. A lot of 2-0s in here. 3-0. Jeez. To Brighton, says Wolf. Lampard fall up. It is really unbelievable. Falls up. You meant to say. Appointing Lampard is like getting a blind dog to find a bone. Facts. It's a waste of time getting Lampard in. And some are going to be mad as new manager will be turning over a lot of deadwood. Exactly, mate. Exactly. Yeah, no, absolutely. And I'm going to be very interested, even though I don't care about Chelsea, I'm going to be interested to see what they do as much as Liverpool, because how crap both of them have been this season. But yeah, moving on to the next game. Goodison Park, Everton taking on Fulham. Now, Fulham, obviously, since the suspensions, they haven't won. Their last game, obviously, they did lose to West Ham. I thought West Ham would get some sort of result just because, pressure's on Moyes and you know what these managers are like. When pressure's on them, they actually change it around. And he actually played a formation I don't think he's ever played at West Ham, which is a 4-4-2. And obviously, they did get a win. Before that, they lost as well to Bournemouth. The suspensions, they haven't helped Fulham. Everton, I do think, if they do stay up, it will come down to their home games. And I just think the way, with all these suspensions, I really do think Everton will win this, especially being at Goodison Park as well. Like I just said, I'm going to go 1-0 Everton. I reckon it'll be tight, but I reckon Everton will do it. And that'll be a massive 3 points for them. I think currently they're just above the relegation zone, if I'm correct. Yes, they are. So if they win that could be massive come the end of the season. So, yeah, I'm going to go 1-0. I'm going to go 1-0 to Everton. Let's go through your predictions and comments. 0-0 says Wolf. 1-0 as well, says Spencer. Liverpool have pulled out of race getting Bellingham. Yeah, I heard about that today. Am I shocked? Not really. Because the owners, let's be real, are they ever going to spend that sort of money? No. And to be honest, I'd rather get, other players other than just one, because Liverpool need more than just one really good player, let's be honest. Just Googled it now. Chelsea haven't ever lost a home game versus Brighton before. Yeah, like I said, I think you've only lost twice to them. So, yeah. Everton 1-0 Fulham. Chris gone with the same as me. Fancy Everton here. Suspensions, massive miss for Fulham. Exactly. And Fulham now on beach by looks of it. Exactly. Throughout the whole season, they've had a brilliant season back. Everyone thought they'd be in the relegation zone and relegation battle, including myself. I actually think I said I got them to go down, didn't I? So overall, they've had a brilliant season. It's just, like you say, the suspension is just not helping right now. Billy's gone with the same as well. 1-0 to Everton. Mitro is a big loss. He is. Fulham are on the beach, says Spencer. Yeah, a lot of you saying that. Stephen's gone 2-0 Everton. Fair enough. Chris says Everton were always going to be fine for me once they appointed Dyche. Yeah, he's very experienced, especially in the battle they're in. Fulham have been poor recently. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, they have lost their last 2 games. And it's not like they've lost to, West Ham ain't been great this season, and they didn't even score at home. Fulham quite impressive usually at home this season, most of the time. And the Bournemouth one, obviously, massive win for Bournemouth. And at the moment, they're proving a lot of people wrong. And obviously, we will get into their game when, obviously, we have to get to it in 2 games' time. But yeah, moving on to the next game. Big game, at the bottom. Palace, obviously, I think they will stay up now after that emphatic win against Leeds. 5-1. That was mental, mate. They're taking on Southampton away. I do think Southampton will go down. I stand by it, especially if how things are going right now. I did say at the start of the season they've just survived, so I was close. It could still happen, but it is looking very slim in my opinion. Obviously, Southampton's last game was that heavy defeat to Man City. I did say 3-1, so close. I did actually say a Haaland double as well, not on here, but I said it with my stepdad because we put a bet on. Gutted. But yeah, they're taking on Palace. Like I say, Palace got that emphatic win. Since Roy Hodgson's come back in, they're unbeaten in their 2 games. Obviously, both of them games coming back from behind as well. Obviously, they did go 1-0 down to Leicester, beat them 2-1 at home. And then, obviously, like I said, the 5-1 victory away at Ellen Road. I'm going to go over Palace win again. Also, I don't really rate Southampton. I think they will go down. And, I'm confident Palace will stay up. Now, I'm going to go 2-1. 2-1 to Crystal Palace in this one. Your predictions and comments. Fulham read that. Fulham had 70% of the ball versus West Ham, but created nothing. Yeah, exactly. Hodgson ball, says Chris, literally. Billy's actually gone with a draw. Interesting. He's gone with a 1-1. Stephen's gone 3-1 to Palace. Leeds should have a game out of sight in first half versus Palace, and they collapsed. Yeah, exactly. Chris has also gone 3-1 to Palace as well. Spencer's the same as me, 2-1. We've gone for quite a few the same so far. Elise, Eze, Ayew, so good to watch at Leeds. Yeah, I remember when they played Ayew through the middle, and I rate him there. But ever since they played him out wide, he's been a lot better. Yeah, definitely agree on that. But yeah, moving on to the next game, Tottenham versus Bournemouth. Now, obviously, Tottenham, like I said earlier, did get a bit lucky in their win versus Brighton. They're taking on Bournemouth, who, like I say, getting some impressive results recently. Obviously, beating Fulham and then beating Leicester. And the reason I say that Leicester one's impressive is because it was away. I did think that was a favourable game for Leicester, as much as Bournemouth are above them, or were above them at the time, obviously still are now. I thought that's a good game to try and win, but Bournemouth got a clean sheet, played really well as well. We're just brilliant. We're just absolutely brilliant. I can't lie. Taking on Tottenham in this one. Now, obviously, we know Tottenham are very hit and miss. They tend to be good against newly promoted sides at home, though. I think they're actually unbeaten against the newly promoted sides this season at home. Like I say, Bournemouth are doing well, but I just think because Tottenham are at home, I reckon they'll win this one. I'm going to go over 2-0 Tottenham. Obviously, they are trying to get the top 4 as well, Tottenham. So, yeah, I'm going to go over 2-0 victory for Tottenham. I don't get why everyone is so hyped about Haaland bicycle kick. It's Southampton and no defenders around. Oh, dear. Billy's gone 1-0 to Bournemouth. Jeez. I mean, would I be shocked, though? A bit lucky, about a lot lucky. Brighton got robbed, says Spencer. Tottenham 2-1 Bournemouth, says Chris. Won't shock me. Bournemouth get something, to be honest, as it's Tottenham, exactly. Fair play to Bournemouth and O'Neill proving me wrong. At this moment in time, they are proving us wrong. 2-0, says Spencer, same as me. Again, we've gone with another one the same. Once I saw O'Neill get named permanently, I thought players with down tools. Yeah, exactly. I thought, like I always said, on these streams, I thought it'd be very similar to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, when he come into United, because he's having a few good results, they'd rush it into things and then take him and it wouldn't go so great. I mean, they still could go down, though, but at the moment, they are doing well. I'd love to see Tottenham get robbed, says Billy. Sloppy Spurs 1 in a dumps, Bournemouth 0. Fair enough, Stephen. Can't be... Oh, God. Flipping hell. But, moving on to the next game, which is Wolves versus Brentford. Now, this is an interesting one for me. Obviously, Wolves did beat Chelsea 1-0 I said 1-1. I knew Wolves would get some sort of result, but I didn't quite think they'd win it. They're taking on Brentford. Now, obviously, Brentford did take that loss. I don't think there's too much shame in it, though, because it is Newcastle. How do I see this one going? Now, I remember the game last season. Brentford won 2-0 at Molineux. I think Wolves overall have a decent record against Brentford. Wolves are not doing too bad at the moment. They're not doing too bad. Brentford are a good team as well, as we know. Brentford, I'd say for Brentford now, it's not necessarily the top four. I think more for them, because obviously there's a lot of teams in the top four race. Like you could even put Brighton in there. I think for Brentford now, it's just trying to maybe get a European place, whether that's Conference League / Europa League. I'm going to go with a draw. I'm going to go with my first draw that I've predicted. I'm going to go for 1-1. I have a 1 apiece in this one. So yeah, that is my prediction. Even if they go down, he's the right man. Yeah, I think it'll do all right, to be fair, in the Championship. Spencer's gone 1-1 as well. See, we're loving this, mate. We're loving this. Same predictions again. Chris says Wolves 2-0 Brentford. Wolves 0 Brentford 2. I'm torn between 2-0 Brentford and 1-1 draw, but I'm going 2-0 Brentford. Now, that was like me and my cousin, who is a Brentford fan. I asked him his score, and he was saying 2-0 Brentford. And then I said 1-1, and he was like, yeah, I could see that, to be fair. Very possible. That goal last weekend is up there for goal of the season. Yeah, very good goal it was by Wolves. Billy's gone 2-1 to Brentford. Fair enough. Harry says, wouldn't be surprised if Wolves won. Yeah, to be honest, mate, the way they're going, neither would I. Stephen's gone with the same as me, 1-1. Brentford do struggle away from home, to be honest. Exactly. And Wolves are doing well. Like I said, they're doing all right at the moment. Madrid tearing Chelsea apart again. I know. People really thought Chelsea were going to go there and win. This is Real Madrid, mate. Can put Brighton in top four race. The rest of United injuries, yeah. Obviously, I did get a lot last night. I know that. Even though, like I said, I didn't proper watch it, I do know that. So, yeah. That is that. Moving on to the next game. Manchester City versus Leicester City. Now, I can't lie. This was probably one of the easiest games for me to predict this weekend. Obviously, City, like I said, got that very impressive win against Bayern Munich. Second half, they're just all over them. Taking on Leicester, who obviously have appointed Dean Smith. Interesting one. But this is not a first game you want, is it? This is not a first game you want at all. Especially away. Man City, their last couple of results have been emphatic wins. They are trying to chase Arsenal, as we know as well. 6 points off as it stands. And I just think City will win this one. And I think they'll win it pretty comfortably. I'm going to go with the exact same score they got against Southampton. I'm going to go over 4-1. I think Leicester might get 1. But yeah, I'm going to go over 4-1 victory for Man City. So yeah, can already see high scores flying about in the chat. Where was I? 3-1, says Spencer. Fair enough. It's what I did predict them to get in their last game. I was close against Southampton. 5-0 City. Wace, obviously, he is a City fan. Should be routine win for it. Yeah, I think it will be, to be honest. Man City, 4 relegation candidates. Foxes, 0. Fair enough, Stephen. Lampard outdoing Ancelotti is like KSR, whatever his name is. Tyson Fury, never going to happen. 5-0, says Chris as well. Time to get the goal difference up in this. Yeah, to be honest, you could look at it like that. Manchester City 4-0. Leicester, Dean Smith, they must be out of their mind. Thoughts on Dean Smith appointment? Not convinced. I think in the Championship he'll do all right if they go down, if they keep him, which I think they should. I don't think he's as bad as people make out. Yeah, he's not the best, but I think majority of his time at Villa he was all right. I think personally, I don't think he was as bad as people make out. And like I say, I think he'll do well in the Championship because I'm pretty sure he was the manager when Villa went up, weren't he, from the Championship as well. So he's got that experience. So definitely take him up if they do go down. I do think that anyway, depending on obviously who leaves and that as well. Because obviously a lot of players will leave if that's the case. Like your Madisons and Probably Tielemans, and yeah, it'll be interesting. It will be interesting, that's for sure. Even players like Drewsbury Hall, I know he ain't been playing great recently. I know he got sent off a couple of games ago against Villa, but even then, be interesting to see what he does. But if they did keep him in the Championship, he's got experience, doesn't he? So again, it's interesting. Yes, like yourself. I thought Leicester could have been better, but they're in a relegation battle. Yeah, exactly. Stephen says Dean Smith rushed appointment and John Terry. Yeah, he was the assistant with him at Villa as well, wasn't he? I don't like John Terry. Never have, never will. Do you know what I'm saying? Give me a sec, people. Just got to listen to something quite important. So bear with me a sec, people. Right, there we go. It's done. It is done. Right, anyway. That is that. Moving on to the next game. West Ham United versus Arsenal. Now, obviously, this is a London derby. Obviously not, the biggest one, but it still is. Arsenal, obviously, trying to win the league. Obviously, a last game did draw to Liverpool. It did get the outcome right. Obviously, not quite the score. I knew Liverpool would get a draw. I knew it. Could have even won the game, if it weren't for Ramsdale being brilliant. Taking on West Ham, who obviously, like I said, did get that win against Fulham. They did play yesterday 1-1. I did watch a bit of it, to be honest. And West Ham, after they conceded, I thought they were pretty disappointing, to be honest. Arsenal, like I said, they're trying to win the league. I do think this will be a tight one. I don't think it'll be easy for Arsenal. Given West Ham, starting to play a little bit better. Obviously, like I said, the result yesterday, not great, but in the Premier League, they're won their last game. I'm going to go with 2-1. And it was that scoreline a couple of years ago. I remember watching it at the London Stadium. So I'm going to go with it again. I'm going to go with another 2-1 victory for Arsenal. Your comments, Man City 6-0. I mean, should I even be shocked because Leicester are not great? Chelsea fans' prediction. Can see this being a 1-1. Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. I mean, it'd be decent for you guys. 1-1 as well, says Spencer. Okay, a lot of you think Arsenal might drop 2 points. 3-1 says Billy to Arsenal. So does Chris. Squeaky bum time for Arsenal. Going to be hostile going there for them, but I think they get job done. 100% away record in London. Exactly. They're very good against teams in London. And obviously they are the best team away form. So, yeah. West Ham 1, Woolwich 2, says Stephen. Hope West Ham go down. How comes, Billy? I get it's sort of a London derby, but yeah. City versus Arsenal game, ultimate decider for me. I'm still leaning towards Arsenal. Fair enough. I think City going in further in Champions League might help Arsenal. Yeah, obviously Arsenal out of Europe now, so I agree with that. If City win and Arsenal loses one, City's probably going to get it done. Fair enough. Excuse me. So yeah, that is that. Moving on to the next game. Flipping hell, there's only 2 more games to predict. Nottingham Forest versus Manchester United. Now, Nottingham Forest are in the relegation zone now. I still think even if they do go down, they should stick with Steve Cooper because I do think he is a good manager. I just think what's not helped them is the amount of players they've brought in. They wouldn't be in the position of being in the Premier League if it wasn't for him. The turnaround they had last season in the Championship. They're taking on Manchester United, who, have got them injuries, but like I say, United do well against Nottingham Forest. I think last time Nottingham Forest beat United was, I don't even know. I think it's I want to say 2001. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's been a while. That's for sure. I think a lot of games this season, because obviously they played in the League Cup and that, United beat them very convincingly. I remember doing a watch-along at the City ground. Even at Old Trafford, they beat them pretty comfortably, most of the time. And yeah, I just think it's not looking great for Forest. And despite the United injuries, I think they'll win this one. I'm going to go with a convincing scoreline, to be honest. I'm going to go 3-0. I'm going to go 3-0 United. exactly what it was the last time they went to the City ground. So yeah, still Arsenal's title to lose, says Spencer. Absolutely. 4-1 Arsenal, says Chelsea fan. Jeez. City will still drop points for me. I think both will drop more points. Only be perfect run for me. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. To be fair, obviously, when I had a look at it, Arsenal got some sticky games coming up, like Brighton at home. As much as they are at home, Brighton, they're a good side. Got Newcastle away at some point as well. Cities, I can't really remember it, but I know obviously they got Arsenal, so that one's going to be interesting. Chris says Nottingham Forest 1, Manchester United 2. I think United will edge it. Same with Spencer. Same with Billy. A lot of people going 2-1. Man United have injuries. I'll get my violin out. We all have injuries. Arsenal drop points at Forest and Newcastle, I think. Yeah, to be fair, they do have a bit of a sticky record against Forest at the City ground as well. You think of games in recent years. Obviously, they haven't played in the Premier League this season, but the FA Cup a couple of years ago, that was a mental game, that. So you never know. You never know. And I do think if Forest stay up, it comes down to their home games. But then again, I don't know. It depends what they're doing by then. So yeah. City's games are Brighton, Brentford, and Everton. Yeah, interesting ones. But yeah, moving on to the last game. And that is Leeds United versus Liverpool Monday night. I will do a watch along. I'll make sure I do at least one Premier League watch along, and that will be the one I will do. Leeds obviously took that emphatic defeat, as we know, to Crystal Palace. Liverpool, the thing about Liverpool is they get a decent result, this season, and then they lose to like Bournemouth or someone like that. But with it being at Ellen Road, obviously it will be hostile. It will be tough for Liverpool. I do think Liverpool might get a result. I can't lie. I think it'll be narrow, but I can see Liverpool maybe getting a result. Diaz will 100% be back for this game, which is massive for Liverpool. Obviously, I would say at the start of the season, and I always say it, you could debate between him or Firmino when it comes to best player on form at the start of the season, when it comes to attacker. The last time they played, obviously, Liverpool lost. They lost that streak at Anfield. But before that, I don't think Leeds beat Liverpool for a while. I remember games against Leeds in the past. Liverpool, they were entertaining games, but Liverpool would win most of them. I remember the first game of the season with no fans. What was the score in that? Went like 4-3 or something crazy. I remember Liverpool went there and won 3-0, I think it was. So, I do tend to have a decent record, just except the last game against Leeds. I'm going to go with a very narrow win for Liverpool. I'm going to go over 1-0, a very narrow win. But then again, I wouldn't be shocked if Liverpool don't win because, like I say, they don't do great once they get a decent result, majority of the season. So, going to go over 1-0 Liverpool in that one. What City go out semi-final UCL and make the trend live on? Wouldn't be shocked. Obviously, depending on who they get. 2-1 Liverpool, says Billy. Leeds haven't done the double on the pool in a while. Can't remember the year. Exactly, there's that. I saw that as well. 1-1. Yeah, I could see that, to be fair. Spencer's obviously a Liverpool fan. It's gone 1-1. Chelsea fans gone 2-1 as well. Same as Billy for that one. So yeah, they are my predictions. So let's just run through them again. Aston Villa 1, Newcastle United 2, Chelsea 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 2, Everton 1, Fulham 0, Southampton 1, Crystal Palace 2, Tottenham Hotspur 2, Bournemouth 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Brentford 1, Manchester City 4, Leicester City 1, West Ham United 1, Arsenal 2, and then Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester United 3, and then Leeds United 0, Liverpool 1. We stink. Yeah, we're not great away as well. Yeah, exactly. Leeds 3-1 Liverpool. Jeez, Chris obviously a Liverpool fan as well. I'm not letting this team fool me. Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't be shocked if Liverpool don't win. but bit of confidence there for Liverpool to win for me because of that Leeds result against Palace. But then again, Liverpool not great away. And like I said, we know what they do this season once they've had a decent result. But anyway, the table, I don't know why it's not showing it fully. Hopefully that sorts itself out in a minute by the time I get to it. But this is what the table would look like if results go the way I think. So obviously, like I said, a couple of teams still got a game in hand. Brighton have got 2 games in hand. So yeah, obviously Arsenal would remain top, 6 points clear. Man City obviously second. Newcastle still third. Obviously they've got better goal difference than Man United. Obviously they're on the same, or they would be on the same points. Tottenham 5th. Brighton 6th. Liverpool would jump up to 7th, which is better. Yeah, it's a little bit better. Aston Villa 8th. Brentford 9th. Fulham 10th. Chelsea 11th. Crystal Palace 12th. Wolverhampton Wanderers 13th. Obviously, that means Palace would go 3 points ahead. 4 points ahead of Wolves. Should be a good little gap. And then West Ham 14th. Everton 15th. Bournemouth 16th. Leeds just above the relegation zone. And it would be the same teams that are currently in there now that would remain in there come the end of the weekend if the results go the way I think. So, yeah. Liverpool take points off which and give points to Paul. Oh, my days. Somerville, Harrison, and on so Bamford. Leeds will create chances. They've got players to walk past. Our plastic bad defence. Yeah, they have got some good players. They have got some good players. Definitely agree with that. But yeah, there you go, people. That is the end of Premier League predictions for Game Week 31. Big up to everyone that added in. Much appreciated, like always. And yeah, I will be back again, of course, just over an hour now for the Hatter Show. Me and my dad will be talking about that game against Blackpool, obviously getting a bit more into it. And then obviously getting into the game against Rotherham. And I will be going to that. So I will be going to another ground that I haven't been to, ticket off the 90 today. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, to be honest, with the way Luton have been. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. That's all I'm going to say. Obviously, I'll, talk a bit more about it in just over an hour. But yeah, big up to everyone that's tuned in. Don't forget to smash a like on the stream if you haven't already. Do subscribe to the channel if you are new as well. I did do championship predictions as well yesterday. Do make sure you do check them out as well if you haven't already. And do, obviously let me know your score predictions and that as well in the comments and all of that. And yeah, that is that. But yeah, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already as well. Obviously, the current like count is on 9 likes. Don't forget to smash a like if you haven't already. I know people watch this back on playback. So please do smash a like there as well. Like I said, do subscribe to the channel, turn on notification bell, subscribe to my other channel as well, T-Boys TV Extra. And yeah, if you do want to follow me across any of my socials, obviously a link to them are in the description. Like I said, I'll be back again in just under an hour. Over an hour, sorry, for the Hatter Show. And yeah, 1 new subscriber in this stream as well, so big up to yourselves. I did notice if you did type up Premier League predictions, it did actually come up, which I was surprised about because I never do. It's weird because it didn't come up on the Championship ones, always come up on them, and then I come up on the Premier League ones, which I never come up on. So interesting, but nah, probably saw me through that, so big up to yourself. But yeah, hopefully I will see many of you just over an hour for the Hatter Show. So yeah, big up yourselves. Take care, Spencer, mate. And take care, Chris. Take care, Billy. Take care, everyone that tuned in. Like I said, big up to yourselves. And until 6:30, I'll see you lot in a bit. Take care and peace.